Hello everyone. In this session we are going to start the next concept after the flower description of flower. So in this session we are learning some of the few concepts which is very important and interesting too. So we are starting with the next concept known as a hypogonus, epigynous and perigynous. Now, what does it mean by hypogynous, epigynous and perigynous? These are nothing but these are as simple as position of, listen to me, the position of, based on the position of calyx, corolla, Andersium and gynoecium, the flower has been classified into three types. One is hypogonus, epigynous and perigynous. On what basis flower classified into three? On the position of calyx, corolla, Andersium, gynoecium and thalamus too. Thalamus too. So in the yesterday's session you learned the structure of flower. You saw the position of thalamus or the receptacle and ovary and calyx, corolla, gynoecium and Andersium. So we will see all these structure one more time so that we can easily get what is hypogynous, what is epigynous and what is perigynous. Okay, so just look at this picture drawing and showing you the positions of all these organs. So this is the ovary and this is the style and stigma. Okay, and this is known as the thalamus, a receptacle or a bulged portion, a swollen portion known as a thalamus. Now, okay, I'll erase this. I'm going to draw the next features or the next parts. Look at this. So this is the calyx, corolla, Andersium. Now we got all the organs on the board. Gynoecium, Andersium, corolla and calyx. This is the thalamus. Now look at the position of ovary now. So this is the ovary which is located on the top of the thalamus. it has taken top of the thalamus, and all the other structures lie next to the ovary. So this is the ovary. Next to the ovary, all the other parts are present, and it has taken a superior position. A superior position. Superior means male bhaga. Okay. So this superior, because of this, only to have this kind of structure, only to have this kind of arrangement, ovary, it has taken the superior part. This type of arrangement of flower is known as hypogynous flower. So in simple, what you have to understand, you have to understand ovary is superior. To which part it is superior? To all the other part it is considered as, or it has taken the superior position, superior location. That's why it is known as hypogynous ovary or hypogynous superior ovary, hypogynous flower. Okay. So now what do you mean by epigynous ovary or epigynous flower? Just observe this. Now we are in the epigynous flower, where it has the thalamus and the other parts Alright, so all these are the other parts, and the ovary will lie here. So this is the position of, or it is known as epigynous condition. So if you are getting confused, let me clear your confusion. This is the thalamus and this is the ovary. Alright, here ovules will be present. Alright, so this is the ovary and the thalamus. Now look at this. The ovary, it has taken the middle position. Middle position means it will be there in the flower. From the rim of ovary, the other essential and accessory whorls get arranged. This type of flower is known as epigynous flower. If you can observe this, from the rim of the ovary, the Andersium corolla calyx, Andersium corolla calyx get arranged, it get formed. So this type of flower is known as epigynous. And one more thing you have to observe here, the ovary is considered as half superior. Ardhamatra Melbhaga. So the ovary is half superior to all other parts. So that's why it is known as epigynous flower. And one more type is there. The name of the flower is perigynous. Perigynous in sense so this is the thalamus and ovary and all the other parts. So what you can see in this picture, so this is the gynecium having stigma, style and ovary. Okay, and this is the andrecium, they both are andrecium, and petal or corolla, and sepal or calyx. Okay, now this is the thalamus or receptacle. So the ovary get enclosed inside the thalamus. The ovary is placed inside the thalamus, and all the other organs, all the other essential and reproductive organs are arranged on the top of the ovary. So now the ovary is in the bottom, in the lower surface, the lower part, and all the other parts arranged onto that, so that the ovary become inferior in position. Ovary is inferior and all other parts are present in the superior condition. So that's why the position or the flower type is known as perigynous. So write the examples to all these: hypogynous, epigynous and perigynous. Epigynous flower example is mustard, china rose, brinjal. Perigynous example is plum, rose and peach. Epigynous examples are cucumber. Right, mustard and china rose and brinjal. China rose, brinjal. Okay, so it means what? In the mustard plant flower, the ovary is present in the superior region, and also in china rose and brinjal plant also. And in plum plant flower and rose plant flower and peach plant flower, the flower is, or sorry, the ovary is half superior in position, and in cucumber plant flower the ovary is present in the inferior position. That's why the flower is known as perigynous. This is important, my dear students. Usually they ask you to write for 3 marks. If you write the definition and example, you will get 3 marks. Now we will see about the calyx and corolla. Calyx and corolla are considered as the accessory whorls, calyx and corolla. Calyx are in maximum of the flower, calyx is green colored and it protects the flower when it is in bud stage. So usually you might have seen the buds, how it will be. It will be somewhat like this, and a green color petals get enclosed to this bud. And what does it mean? It means the calyx is going to protect the bud condition. So the calyx is outermost whorl of flower, and this is the accessory whorl, completely covered to the flower. So this is the accessory whorl, and it is the maximum of the flowers have green color calyx, and it protects the flower when it is in bud stage. And if the calyx is fused with one another, Usually calyx will be 5 in number, my dear students. Each calyx, if consider, it will be like this, okay. If all these parts of the calyx, this is one sepal, one more sepal, one more sepal, one more and one more, okay, all these calyx, if they fused with one another, if you see that calyx, they will not look like, they will not appear like they are loosely arranged. They compactly packed with one another. So that type of calyx is known as gamosepalous. Gamo means fused, sepalous means sepals. Sepals means the whorl of sepal is known as calyx. So this type calyx, if the calyx is fused with one another, if the sepals of the calyx is fused with one another, that type of calyx arrangement is known as gamosepalous. In one more condition, they will be free in appearance. Free means somewhat, it will be like this. They will not fused, they will be free with one another. Free. This one sepal is free, it didn't get attached to this sepal and this sepal, this sepal. All the sepals are free with one another. They do not attach to one another. They are free with all together. The type of sepals are known as polysepalous. Poly means free, sepalous means sepals. So this you have to remember, my dear students. Okay, gamosepalous and polysepalous. And in the same condition or in the same description, we have to learn the corolla also. So this is colored organ and which protects the essential whorl, and also it attracts the insects, insects. And if the petals are fused, the type of condition is known as gamopetalous. Gamo means fused petal, and if the petals are free, that type of condition, that type of arrangement is known as polypetalous. It means free petals. Okay, if you can see this picture, consider this is the petals of the flower. If the petals are in the middle region, you will find the essential whorls like Andersium, Gynoecium and all. All those Gynoecium and Andersiums are known as essential whorls. Those whorls get protected by the corolla, and also more than protection, the important work of the corolla is it usually attract the insect, and having a wide space on the petal, it gives seating arrangement to the insect, so that when it sits on the petal, when it starts sucking the nectar, the pollen grains get attached to the legs of insect or to the body of insect, and when the insect fly and sit on other plant, the pollen grain used to shed on the other flower. So this is how the pollination get achieved. So that is why the petals used to attract the insect, and also in some flower petals it releases fragrance. Okay, so if they ask you to write or give description about the corolla, what you have to write? The corolla is colored structure and it protects the essential orals, it attracts the insects. If the petals are fused with one another, that type of arrangement is known as gamopetalous. If the petals are free in arrangement, that type of petals are known as polypetalous. Now, we will see the next concept. The next concept is about now this is important, my dear students, estivation. Estivation. Now write the definition of estivation. The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in the flower bud. It is known as estivation. It consists of 4 types. First type is valvate estivation. Second type is twisted estivation. Third type is imbricate estivation. And fourth is vexillary or papilionous type of estivation. Papilionaceous, make it correct. Papilionaceous. Okay, so we'll start studying. So this is, if you understand properly, it is very much simple, my dear students. If they ask, they'll ask you to write the detailed account on estivation for 5 mark. But in that time, if they ask you to write about the estivation, you have to write the description, definition, and also the diagram. Diagram is very much simple. Just observe this and you draw this structure. First, the definition, you saw the definition, right? The mode of arrangement of sepals or petal. Either we are talking about the sepal or we are talking about the petal. So if the petal, if whenever I start telling the valvate and imbricate and twisted and vexillary, what you have to consider, either I am talking about sepal or I am talking about petal. When you come to the college, when the practical classes start, on that time I will show you the types and arrangements of calyx and corolla. So the first one is valvate type of estivation. If the calyx or corolla consider each of the units are known as either calyx or corolla. This is one calyx or corolla. Calyx, one calyx, one calyx, one calyx. Like that, I have taken here 5 calyx. Okay, I'll use the word calyx itself. Alright, so here 5 calyx units are there. It means 5 petals are there. Alright, so look at the margins of petal, my dear students. So this is the margins. one margin, this petal margin is this, and this petal margin is, and this one is here and here, this petals margin is here and here. Can you see the margins? Is the all these margins overlapped? No, they are lying side by side. They do not overlap with one another. They'll just they have a small gap, or they'll just touch with one another. In some cases the margins, they'll just touch with one another, or else they have the gap with one another. This type of arrangement is known as valvate estivation. That's all, my dear students. You have to give one example for this. The example for valvate estivation is Calotropis. Plant name, it is actually Calotropis. Let me tell you the definition now. The margins of sepal or petal, they touch with one another. They do not overlap with one another. This type of arrangement, this mode of arrangement is known as valvate estivation. Example is Calotropis. The margins of sepal and petal, sepal or petal, they lie side by side. If you consider this is one petal, this is one more petal, their margins, they'll just touch, or they'll have gap with in between these two. So this type of arrangement is known as valvate estivation. Example is Calotropis. The second one is twisted estivation, where the name itself saying it has a twisted type of sepal or petal. So I have drawn here 5 sepals or petals, and just observe the margins of each unit. Here the margin is at the anterior position, and this margin is overlapped to the next sepal, and this margin is overlapped with this sepal. This will be free, and this margin is overlapped with this sepal, and this will be free, or onto that, and this margin is overlapped with this sepal, and this will be onto that, and this will be overlapped with this sepal. So this arrangement looks like a twisted manner, a twisted type of estivation it has. So the margins of definition, how do you create the definition of twisted estivation? The estivation, the mode of arrangement of sepals or petals, it will be like the margin of each sepal or petal, they'll get overlapped with one another. One margin will be overlapped, one margin will be free. One margin will be overlapped, one margin will be free. So that type of arrangement is known as twisted estivation. The name itself saying twisted. Example for the twisted estivation is China rose. So this is how you have to draw the diagram of twisted estivation. Hope you are following the concept. And next is imbricate estivation, where one sepal or petal completely overlapped, completely in, and one sepal will be completely out in position, and the 3 will be in and out. So this is how the imbricate estivation will be. See, this is one petal. Okay, so this petal is completely overlapped with these two sepals or petals. Okay, and come to this petal or sepal. This petal or sepal will be completely out in position. Completely, it is out. It means if it has not overlapped with any of the sepal or petal. It is out in position, and three are 1, 2, 3. Three are in and out, in and out, in and out. So this type of estivation is known as imbricate, where the margins of sepal or petal overlap one another but not in a particular direction. But not in a particular direction. It is known as imbricate estivation. Example is cassia and gulmohar. If you want to see all those flowers, just take any of the flower and look at the base of the petal or sepal. So at the base you will get this type of estivation. Okay, so imbricate estivation is the type of arrangement of sepals and petals where it has not arranged in a particular order or in a particular manner. Some of them are completely in position, some of them are completely out in position, and some of them are in and out in position. One more thing for extra information I am telling you. So this petal is completely in, no. So one petal is in plus one is out. Right, completely out, and plus 3 is in and out. 3 petals or sepals are in and out, in and out, and in and out. So 1 plus 3 position. Usually we used to tell only for the purpose of remembering this type of estivation, imbricate estivation. The example is cassia and gulmohar. The next is fourth one, maxillary type of estivation. Example for this is pea, bean. So here you will find some an interesting and important estivation where one petal is considered as a standard petal, completely overlapped the wing petal, and subsequently those two wing petals overlapped with two more keel petal. So we have one more type of estivation here. This is known as keel petal or sepal. Keel petal, you have to say this is the arrangement of corolla, and these two are known as not kell, it is keel. Okay, keel, make it correct. Wing, these two are known as wing. It will be like side by side like this, wing petal, and this is the standard petal. Standard petal, wing petal, keel petal. So actually keel petals are 2 in number. They fuse with one another and looks like it has only one petal. So this type of arrangement is known as vexillary estivation. Example is crotalaria. Okay, so the one petal The name of the petal is standard petal. This petal overlap the two wing petal. It got overlap. So completely it overlaps the wing petal. Next, wing petal overlap the keel petal. So one by one, all these overlap the other next subsequent petal. So that's why the name of the estivation is vexillary or papilionaceous type of estivation. Okay, so why they have given papilionaceous estivation? Because in the Papilionaceae family, you will find all the flowers in the form of vexillary type of estivation. That's why they have given the name papilionaceous. Example P. Quickly we'll learn the Andersium. The Andersium will be having anther and filament. So this structure is known as Andersium, where the anther is bilobed. Bilobed means this is one lobe and this is one lobe. Each lobe consists of two pollen sacs. Each sac produces number of pollen grains. So this is how the production takes place. And what is pollen grain? Pollen grains are male gamete of flowering plant. Okay, angiosperm male gametes are known as pollen grains. From where the pollen grains produces? From the pollen sacs, or it is also known as microsporangium. Those microsporangium will be 2 in number. In which position it is 2 in number? In each lobe it may be having 2 microsporangium. In class 12 you are going to study the morphology and also the anatomy of microsporangium. Okay, so only you just learn the morphology of plants. So each pollen grain consists of 2 pollen sacs. Alright, and these 2 lobes connected with only one organ known as connectivity. So this is the connectivity. Alright, so the filament get attached to the connectivity, to this next to the ventral surface. Suppose this is the lobe, bilobed structure. Somewhere here the filament get attached to the lobes or to the anther. Anther will be of 2 lobed. Each lobe consists of 2 pollen sac. From each pollen sac it produces each pollen sac produces number of pollen grains. Pollen grains are male gametes of flowering plant. Okay, so based on the attachment of this Andersium, in some case stamens, Andersium also known as stamen. In some case stamens they do not produce pollen grain. That type of flower is known as staminode or sterile flower. Sterile flower means they are not going to produce any pollen grains and all. The type of flower is known as staminode. Staminode means absence of stamen, or if the stamen is present, it do not produce the pollen grain. Alright, so sometimes this filament attached to the petal. Suppose, consider this is the petal. If the Andersium is present or it is produced on the surface of from this petal, if it is producing, the type of flower is known as epiphallus. So phallus means petals, epi means on to that. Epiphallus or epipetalus. Epipetalus Andersium or epiphallus Andersium means what? The stamens are developing on the surface of the petal. The Andersium, you can say like this also, the Andersium or the stamen get attached to the petals. The type of flower is known as epiphallus or epipetalus. And the stamen, if the stamen remain free means the petals will be here and the stamens arises from the thalamus. Consider this is the thalamus or receptacle. From the receptacle it is going to produce and they do not attach to the petal. This type of flower is known as polyandrous. Epiphallus means attached to the petal, the stamens get attached to the petal. Polyandrous means the stamens are free in position. Okay. The next is, if the stamens are unite with one another, so here this is one filament and all the stamens remains attached to this filament. This type of arrangement you might have seen in hibiscus. So this is the type where, this is the condition where all the stamens attached to only one bundle. This type of arrangement is known as monoadelphous. I'll rewrite one more time. Monoadelphous. If the stamens will be look like this, arranged in two bundles. So this is one stamen, one will be free, okay, and all other stamens attached to only one filament. So it looks like, it appears like all the bundles, half of the stamens are present in this bundle and the next leftover stamen are present in one more bundle, so that it appears like it is having two bundles. The arrangement is of two bundles. That type of arrangement is known as diadelphous. Like that, if it has more bundles of stamen, that type of arrangement is known as polyadelphous. Adelphous means bundle, stamen bundle. If the stamen bundle is 1 in number, it is known as monoadelphous. If the bundle of stamens are 2 in number, that type of arrangement is known as diadelphous. If the bundle of stamens are more in number, that type of arrangement is known as polyadelphous. Okay, so we have completed sorry, one more thing I must say here. I must write the examples to all these. Monoadelphous example is China rose. Polyadelphous example is citrus. And diadelphous example is Crotalaria. Okay, so all these are the examples of monoadelphous, diadelphous and polyadelphous. In short, you can write P. If it is difficult for you, you can also write it as P. Say Crotalaria is also correct example. According to your NCERT, I am writing this one. Okay, citrus plant flower bear number of stamens, number of bundles of stamen. Each bundle carries 5 to 6 stamens. You can count. If you find the flower of citrus plant, you can count all those stamens, my dear students. Okay, so we have completed the position of ovary concept, the east deviation, the calyx concept, corolla concept, and also we have completed the Andersium concept. In the next class we will start the gynoecium. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you.